adrenaline, yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
What's going on, dudes? This is David here. We are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we're going to be talking about a specific NFL team. Now, I used to do this little thing last year where I would talk about the NFL teams and give my predictions for the season, and now that the NFL draft is over, I'm going to start doing a lot more. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a specific NFL team that has to do with the AFC South. Now, if you guys really know, I've done videos about them before because their head coach / general manager has made a whole bunch of stupid moves, and they traded away DeAndre Hopkins and didn't even get a first-round pick for him. So yeah, today's video, we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans. So the Houston Texans actually have a really tough schedule. Like, if you guys really know their schedule, I'm gonna probably see if I can have their schedule right here. So let's begin off with their schedule. First off, they face against the Super Bowl champions. So it's gonna be Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes in the first game of the season for them. That's gonna be a spectacular game, but that Chiefs team is gonna be too good for that team, and they are going to lose against the Chiefs. Next, they'll play the Ravens. Another good team is going to be Deshaun Watson versus Lamar Jackson this time. But this time, they're going to face the Ravens at home. But I still think they're going to lose against the Ravens because that Baltimore team has really improved now thanks to the draft and through free agency. Then they're going to play the Pittsburgh Steelers away at the Steelers. The Steelers are going to be a better team. If Big Ben is healthy, the Texans are going to lose against the Pittsburgh Steelers at Pittsburgh because that's a very tough place to win there. Then they face the Minnesota Vikings. This is one that I feel like I would toss up between because I don't really value Kirk Cousins as a good quarterback, but you got Dalvin Cook there, you got Justin Jefferson, who they just added in the draft. So that Minnesota offense is still going to be very good. They have some pieces on the defense that's going to be very good. So unfortunately for the Houston Texans, I think they're going to lose the first 4 games. And even though the Vikings game is going to be at the Texans, I still think the Vikings are going to win. But then they will end the losing streak because they played the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Texans. The Jaguars are tanking right now, so that's going to be straight away a win. And then they play the Titans and the Packers. They play the Titans away and the Packers at home. The Packers are such a better team than the Houston Texans, so I'm not even going to explain to that. The Packers are going to win that game. And the Tennessee Titans are probably the best team in this division. Indianapolis are going to be up there too. I'd probably say Texans is third best team in the division. So I think the Houston Texans are going to lose away at the Titans, which means when they get to the break, they're going to basically only have 1 win. Not a good record, and by this time, probably what's-his-name would be fired. Bill O'Brien would be fired, but we'll see. After the break, they played the Jacksonville Jaguars away. Like I said, the Jacksonville Jaguars are tanking. They're the worst team in that division right now, so they're gonna bounce back off the break with a win. Then they're gonna play the Browns away at the Browns. That's gonna be a loss because the Browns offense is really good. The Browns defense is really good, and I think the Browns team is a better team than the Houston Texans team, so that's another loss. Then they're going to play the Patriots at the Texans. Bill Belichick versus Bill O'Brien. Bill Belichick's team by then, Jared Stidham is going to be hopefully he's going to be really decent by then, at least for Bill Belichick's safe. Bill Belichick's safe. So yeah, I think actually even though they're going to be playing the Patriots at the Texans, I think the Patriots are going to be too much for Bill O'Brien, and the Patriots are going to win. The next 3 games for the Titans, I see them all winning. The first game is going to be away against the Lions. I think the Texans are a much better team than the Lions, even though Matthew Stafford, when he's healthy, is a very good quarterback. I still think the Houston Texans team is going to beat them. Then they play the Colts at home. I feel like due to the home advantage, they're going to beat the Colts, and the Colts are about, I would say, almost a little bit better or on the same level as the Houston Texans. So yeah, that's going to be a very good game. And then the next game they play will be away at the Bears. I don't really know how to judge that Bears. I think the best part about the Bears is their defense with Khalil Mack. So this is a very tough one for me. But I think that the Houston Texans are going to win away at the Bears. And that'll be a 3-game winning streak, which means that through then they would have 5 wins. But the last 3 games of the season, Colts, Bengals, Titans. The Colts game is going to be lost away. I think the Colts are going to get their revenge game, and they're going to beat the Houston Texans. Then they're going to face the Bengals at home. The Bengals are not on the level of the Houston Texans. I could just say that straight up right there. Even though they added Joe Burrow, they're not on the level of the Houston Texans. Even though the Houston Texans lost DeAndre Hopkins. So the Houston Texans will win against the Titans, and then they will finish against the Titans. They will win against the Bengals and finish at home against the Titans. But I feel that Titans team is really, really good. Derrick Henry is probably having another very good season. So when it comes to this record, and when it comes to the final game of the season for the Houston Texans, I actually think they're going to lose this game. The Titans are going to sweep the Houston Texans. They're going to be the only one in that division to sweep the Texans. And the Titans most likely will win the division. The Colts will finish second. The Texans will finish third. And, of course, Jacksonville Jaguars are going to tank for that number 1 pick. They're going to tank for Trevor. So Houston Texans will probably finish third in that division. And at the end of all my predictions and going over each game and like whether I think they're going to win or lose, their record at the end, the Houston Texans, without DeAndre Hopkins and probably without Bill O'Brien after the first half of the season, they're going to finish 6-10. Through the first 7 games of the season, I think they're going to go 1-6, which is basically similar to what the Falcons did last year. And then the rest of the games, they're going to go. The rest of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 games, they're going to go 5-4. 5-4 through the end of the season. So they're going to pick up most of their wins through the second half of the season. That's really all I have to say about this. When it comes to the Houston Texans, I don't really see them making the playoffs. They probably could get a record like 8-8 or 7-9, but I think they're going to be 6-10 based off the games they played. Their first 4 games are going to be really, really tough games. No matter if they're playing home or away, they played the Chiefs, Ravens, Steelers, and Vikings. Those are tough teams to play. The Vikings were just in the playoffs. The Chiefs are Super Bowl champs. The Ravens were just in the playoffs. And the Steelers with Big Ben is going to be a really, really tough team to beat. So, yeah. And Bill O'Brien, I don't think he's a very good head coach. I don't think he's a very good general manager, obviously, because he traded away DeAndre Hopkins out of spite and got a 2nd and 4th round pick. So, yeah, when it comes to Houston Texans, this is probably their worst season under Deshaun Watson. But Deshaun Watson will have a new coach by next year, and he'll probably bounce back with a better record, and they'll probably give him a new weapon in the draft next year. So we'll see. We'll have to see. I mean, they added some wide receivers, they added some defensive players. I think they added Jonathan Grenard from Florida. So we'll see how that goes. But in terms of the Houston Texans record at the end of the 2020 season, for my predictions, I'm going to say they're going to be 6-10. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please do smash the like button. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.